The Carol Lee's got a big new piece up right now on NBCNews.com about Michael Flynn. It's been more than 1,000 days since Michael Flynn resigned as National Security Advisor, 8 days since President Trump tweeted that he would pardon Flynn. Carol, you spent 3 years covering every development in the story. In 20 interviews, more than 20, with current and former Trump administration officials. You pulled together a comprehensive timeline of Flynn's brief but consequential tenure in the White House. And one of the things that grabbed me as I started to read it is that Donald Trump had already begun to sour on Michael Flynn before they even got into the White House during that time in the transition.
Yeah, that's right, Willie. I mean, I looked at the whole of Michael Flynn's time at the White House, which was very brief, but he's been this fixture of this administration for 4 years, even though he served for such a short amount of time. And you're right, the president had already begun to disdain Michael Flynn. He wasn't really liking when he was around. He didn't like how he briefed him. He was frustrated with him, in part because of the media attention that he had brought during the transition. It started with David Ignatius's column on January 12th in 2017 saying that Michael Flynn had had this conversation with Russia's ambassador to the U.S. here in Washington on the day that the Obama administration levied these sanctions against Russia, and that brought a swirl of attention and questions, and that's what started this snowball of just misleading his colleagues and then misleading and giving false statements to the FBI, and then the journey of this case. You know, millions of people go through the justice system in our country, and very few, if any, like this with Michael. If you look at the journey of Michael Flynn's case, and so you had a president who was frustrated with him. One administration official told me that the president wanted to fire Flynn before they even got to the White House. And so he was frustrated with him once they got in, and all of this started happening, and the administration, the White House, was trying to figure out what to do with Michael Flynn in terms of his conversation with the FBI, and also just that they were getting these warnings from the Justice Department, and then eventually there was enough public pressure where he resigned. But none of that changes, and then you get to the pardon, but none of that changes the fact that even now, people who worked with Michael Flynn in the White House at that time just still don't understand why he lied to them. And none of the pardon or any of what's happened to his case changes the fact that that's why he was fired, and that the president didn't want him in the White House because he was lying to the vice president and others. And yet the president eventually, when it served his own interests, really embraced Michael Flynn's case because he felt like it made his case that the Mueller report was something that was fake and needed to be undermined. So it's a really comprehensive look at the whole of Michael Flynn's time in the White House and then outside, and sort of where they stand now.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.